Hi everyone, my name is Cyprianne and today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the Brighton boot cuffs. These are made from worsted weight yarn and have a stretchy band at the bottom so that they fit nice and snug to your ankle. They are super easy to make and fast, so they're great for last minute gifts or craft fairs. All I know is that whenever people see them, they love them. What you're going to need today is an 8mm hook, a 5.5mm hook, and about 50 grams of worsted weight. All right, so the first thing that we're going to be doing in this boot cuff is working the stretchy band that's going to fit tight around the ankle. So we're going to start that with a 5.5mm hook, nice and small. And we're just going to start by making our slip knot and then chaining 11. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Then what we're going to be doing is we are going to be working a single crochet down each chain, but we're going to start in the second chain from the hook. So we're not working in this one. We will work in the second one, working a single crochet. And that will give us 10 single crochets. Sorry about that. So we're just going to work a single crochet all the way down, and I'll meet up with you at the end. Okay, so we're at the last stitch. We'll just count down and make sure that we have 10 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now, so that we end up with that nice stretchy band, what we're going to be doing is working in the back loop only. So this is your front loop and this is your back loop. So we're just going to insert the hook under the back loop and work a single crochet as we normally would. So we're going to insert into that back loop, and that would be written as BLO in the pattern. I'll put it above. And finish your single crochet. You're going to work that all the way down. And I'll meet up with you at the end of this row and we'll move on to row 3. Okay, we finished row 2. Again, you want to make sure that you have 10 stitches every row across. Otherwise, you're going to end up with an uneven row, and you don't want that. You want it nice and tidy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Now the repeat is exactly the same. So you're going to do that until you have made 34 rows. So just go in the back loop only and single crochet all the way across, chain 1 and turn, and work the exact same way. I just want to jump back in here before I leave you guys. If your cuff starts to sort of go sideways, that is because you're working into the chain stitch instead of the single crochet. So I just want to show you quickly what that looks like. So we finished our 10 stitches and now we're going to chain 1 and turn. You need to make sure that you don't work into the chain stitch, that you work into this stitch here. If you do, it's going to start to slant. So skip the chain and work into the single crochet. Now, if you're worried that you may not be able to keep track, the easiest thing to do, even though you're going to be working in it so quickly, until you get used to things, you can always slip a stitch marker in there into your last stitch, chain 1, and then your stitch marker is there, and you know you just work right into that stitch, again in the back loop only. All right, I will put the instructions above. Most important thing, work in the back loop and count each row to make sure that you're not dropping or increasing stitches. Okay, so we'll meet up with you at the end of row 34, and it should measure approximately 10 inches by then. Okay, so I finished making the cuff part, and all we're going to be doing now, it should measure 10 inches across or fairly close. We're just going to fold that over and we're going to join the short ends together, and then that'll create a tube. So all we're going to be doing is working under the chain that we just made. So you're going to work under those 2 loops and then under those 2 loops, which is the last stitch. And we're going to be working a slip stitch. Okay, so under those 2 loops and then under the next 2 loops. Now don't pull your stitch too tight because then you can end up puckering your seam, which will make your project look messy. So you can just do that, all the way across, and then we'll meet up to work on the next part of the cuff. Okay, so I'm just on my last stitch here. I'm going to finish that with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 1. So we've created this tube shape here. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working along the top edge of the tube, and we're going to be placing a single crochet at the end of each row. So just go around and do that. And again, make sure not to pull your stitches too tightly. So you can see here, this is 1 row. And you should have 34 single crochet when you finish doing this. So just go around, work those single crochet on either side of the bump here. And we'll meet up and just do a final round count. Make sure that we have 34 stitches moving forward, okay? See you soon. Okay, so I just finished working a single crochet around the top of each row, and we are just going to join to that first single crochet, and we're going to be moving on soon to start working with the 8mm hook. So what we want to do at this point is prepare the cuff so that you can use the 8, and we do that by creating spaces for the hook to fit through. You'll see what I mean soon. Okay, so we just joined with the slip stitch, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now I'm just going to turn my work right side out so it's easier to work. Now what we're going to be doing is working a slip stitch, chaining 3, and then working a slip stitch into the first space in each single crochet around. So here we go. We're going to do a slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go back in and do another slip stitch. Then you're going to go into the next single crochet, work a slip stitch, chain 3, and work another slip stitch, and into the next single crochet. So slip stitch, 3 chains, 2, 3, and then another slip stitch. So you're going to do that in every single crochet around, and when you're done you should have 34 chain 3 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and finish working around the cuff, and then we'll meet it up with our 8mm hook, and we'll move on to the beautiful texture of the cuff. Okay, so I've completed all my chain 3 spaces, and I've counted to make sure that I have 34. And now we want to switch to our 8mm hook. So we'll just slide our 8mm hook in there. And then what we're going to do is start working right into those chain 3 spaces. And you can see how we've created just enough space for that to fit in nicely. So we're going to join with a slip stitch, and then we're going to be chaining 2 and turning. And then we'll start in the next space, and we'll do a half double crochet in there and a half double crochet into every chain 3 space around. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that, and then we'll meet up and move on to the texture part. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, so I am just finishing up round 3 of the rest of the boot cuff. And you'll see this is where I did the join and the chain 2. So I'm just going to actually work my last half double crochet in there, and that's going to give me 34 stitches around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch in the top of that first half double crochet, and I'm going to chain 3 and turn. Okay, so moving on to the next part, this chain 3 will actually count as a double crochet and a chain 1, and you'll see what I mean by that soon. Okay, so our chain 3 of the previous round counts as our first double crochet and our chain stitch. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and work in the next. We're going to work a double crochet followed by a chain stitch, skip the next stitch, work in the next. And this is going to be the repeat all the way around. So double crochet, chain, skip the next stitch, work in the next. Now at the end of this round you should have 34 stitches, and remember that this here counts as 2 stitches because that is a double crochet and a chain stitch. So I'll finish working around and meet up with you, and we'll move on to round 5. Okay, so I finished round 4. I checked that I had 34 stitches, so you can kind of do a cheat and count each one of these as 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Okay, so moving on to round 5, we're just going to work into this. This is the chain 3 space, and we're going to join with a slip stitch, and we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now I'm just going to flip this right side out again just because it's easier to work. So what we're doing now is we're actually working into the stitches below the last row. So we're going to work a double crochet working around the front of the chain 1 space and into the stitch below. Going to work a double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip over this double crochet, working around the front of the chain and into the stitch below. We're going to work another double crochet. Okay, chain 1, skip this stitch here, work in front of that chain 1 and into the stitch below. Okay, so you're going to continue all the way around the top of the cuff like that, and we're not adding or decreasing. So again, at the end of this round you should have 34 stitches, and that's what it should be looking like so far. Okay, so I'll meet up with you at the end of round 5. Okay, so I just finished round 5 and checked that I have 34 stitches, and now what we're going to be doing is joining into the top of that first double crochet. So we'll join with a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now again, I'm just going to flip this right side out. So moving forward, you're going to work, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 more rounds of the same stitch pattern. So you're going to work a double crochet into the row below, chain 1, skipping over the double crochet, working in front of the chain 1 stitch into the double crochet in the round below. Okay, so do that for 4 more rounds, and at the end of the 4 rounds you're going to have little holes at the top. So the final round, round 10, is I'm going to just show you how to close those off. So I will work ahead and meet up with you at the end of round 9, and I'll put the instructions for this above. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, I just finished round 9, and so now for round 10, all we're going to do is be closing this off and we'll be finished our boot cuff. So this was a really quick project. I haven't made these in a while. I was surprised how quickly they actually worked up. Okay, so I'm just going to chain 1 and turn. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working a single crochet into that chain space, and then I'm going to be working the double crochet like I did before in the stitch below. So you see how that closed off that space? So again, you can put a single crochet right into the chain 3 space, and then working in that double crochet before like we've been doing all along, just place a double crochet and work a single crochet and a double crochet. And I have about 2% battery left, so I'm going to finish this off and then come back and show you how to fasten off. That's looking really good. See you soon. Alrighty, so we just finished our final round into fasten off. We're just going to join with a slip stitch and then just pull that loop through and fasten off. Now, if you haven't woven in ends before, which I'm sure you have, I'll just show you how I do it. So what I try to do is work into stitches till I feel some tension. So instead of working through open areas, I want to go into areas where I feel resistance, and then I think that the stitch is not going to come undone. So that's it for today's tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Perhaps give this a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, the best way to make sure that you see them is to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get all the notifications. So make sure that you check out the video I'm going to link here. It's the same stitch, and I think that you'll like it. And also I'm going to put up a YouTube recommendation for you, one that they think that you will like. All right, and so that's your little cuff. Thanks so much for joining me today, and until next time, bye-bye.